Well, good morning, everybody. Uh, it's much warmer in town last night. It only got down to 12. Um, but, man, I was in bed last night for 10 hours. I didn't sleep probably much more than 4 or 5, but I did not want to get out this morning. But we're going to go ahead and get cleaned up and dressed, head to work. And I haven't decided what I want to do tonight, if I want to go out of town or I want to stay in town. I get another 10 hours in bed. And no long drive to work, which is nice. I don't know. But I like staying out in the woods better. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, I'm going to get cleaned up and dressed. And we'll see you guys on the way to work. Wow, I'm really amazed at the number of vans I saw last night and this morning. Seems like there's just a lot more parked all over the place. I don't know. But we're heading to work. Looks like it's going to be another sunny day. Another nice sunny day. But cold. We got weather coming in this weekend. So, might be. I think it's just going to be rain though again. It's supposed to warm back up a little. No snow this winter. It's all right. We're going to head to work. And we will see you on the flip side. All right, everybody. We're out of work. We're heading back to the forest. I was on the computer all day today, and my brain is fried. I want to go sit outside by a fire and sit outside. So I'm going to make a phone call to a friend of mine real quick while I'm driving. And then we will see you guys from the forest. Another exciting night. Van life with Jellybean. At least we're not going to be sitting in town again tonight. We will tomorrow, though, again. But tonight, we're heading out of town. I'm not hungry, so I don't feel like making anything. It's too early to camp in the city. So, we're heading out. See you there. Okay, everybody. We got the fire started. All set up. My phone call taken care of for some business. And now we're out here enjoying the nice fresh air. Yeah, I definitely want to get out of town today. I was on that computer just stuck in front of it for like 4.5 hours today, just driving myself nuts. Going to come out. And I got out early tonight. So, get up in the morning, head to town. And tomorrow night we'll stay in town, so we go to the DMV very early the next day. I mean, like before they open early. That way, we get this stuff done and taken care of. Don't think I'm going to change the van over yet. I got to stop. I haven't had a chance to get insurance here. So I want to do that first. Plus, I got like 6 months left on these plates. So why switch them over so early? You know what I mean? Excuse me. But I thought I'd give you guys another little fun hiking story tonight instead of just talking about the van all the time. Haven't done one of these in a while. I know some people like them. But I think I told you guys about the wolf I saw in the Sierra. And people say, oh, there's no wolves in the Sierra. Well, I got pictures of it. And it was hard to determine in the pictures because the sun was coming and I couldn't see what I was taking a picture of, and I didn't get a good picture. But she comes down the trail, sees me, turns around. She's not scared, decides to walk back up the trail. And we're going up to Muir Hut, named after legendary John Muir. And there was a guy I've been kind of flip-flopping over for the day.
He was up there already having lunch. And when I got up there, I said, man, did you see that? He's like, yeah, that was a wolf, wasn't it? I'm like, I'm pretty sure. And leaving, I see her, and she's a beautiful wolf. She's fishing, actively fishing in the stream. Later on, I talked to a biologist who was doing a spotted wild owl survey. And he couldn't tell by the photo because it was not a good photo. And I told him the rest of the story. He's like, well, that shows you coyotes don't actively fish. Wolves will fish. Coyotes, no. So he believed there were wolves. And how can there not be, really? I mean, come on. But anyways, the story, right after that, me and this guy, he was trying to do like 35 miles a day. And in the Sierra, I had jumped it up, and I was doing a real good day that day. Probably like 27, maybe. Well, I made it over the big pass, over the climb over Muir, past the hut there, and that just opens up this beautiful valley in the mountains, lakes. It's just beautiful. And, again, I kind of catch up with the guy who's taking a break, and I pass him, then he passes me, and we've got a real descent to go down. And I'm trying to book it down this descent because I'm hungry. I want to stop and get a good something to eat. Well, my tent at that time, I was keeping it outside of my pack. I can't remember if I had been keeping it outside or if it was just because it was wet that day. I can't remember. I used to keep it on the outside, then switched to the inside. And this may have been why. I can't remember exactly. But there's all these blowdowns. And I'm climbing under them and going through them. And I get down to the bottom of the descent, and there this gentleman is. And he's having lunch. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down and have lunch with him. I drop my backpack, and I notice my tent is not there. Now, in this area, there was a group of younger, like teenage, maybe 15 to 21, maybe, that kind of area. They were on some outing with, guides and whatever. And they were all over this. They were going up when I was coming down. Now, my tent is a Z-Pax duplex. It's like a $750 tent. It's not in my pack. I'm freaking out. I got no shelter. I'm in the middle of the Sierra. So I book it back up. And I'm going, and all these guys were there. I mean, it's bright blue, Somebody has to have seen it. Well, I had been going off trail to make easier ways to go through the blowdowns. And I think that's what saved me on this one. The drawstrings for the bag that enclosed the tent had caught on a tree branch, and it pulled it straight out of my pack, off the back, and it was sitting perfectly upright on a couple branches, right about, shoulder level-ish. Anybody walking that way that I had come would have seen it. It would have been stuck out like a sore thumb. But I was off the trail a little bit because as going down, it was easier to go here. There was more room to climb under the trees. Well, I think the group had stayed right on the trail, and they were going the opposite way. So the way it was in the tree was actually being blocked from their view. I came up, and I was retracing my steps, and I'm booking it too. I mean, it was like, I can't remember, mile and a half, 2 miles, two and a half miles. I can't remember. Honestly, it was like 2.5 miles back up. And I was just booking it. And I come under that same tree, and I see it just like a sign there. That somebody stuck on that tree because it was being held up. Here, my $750 shelter that basically is going to save my life. Excuse me. Is right there for all hikers and pedestrians and animal life to see. I was so surprised it was still there. No, my heart was beating going up that hill. I ran up that hill like I was a fastest known time ultra through hike record setter person to get up there to find that. And man, I saw it there, and man, I was just relieved. But those little things like that, your shelter, your food, water, you gotta have that to survive. I mean, I probably could have made it somewhere till but man, that was a really close call. You losing shelter like that in the middle of the Sierra, that's a rough one. Yeah, if you go back and look at my PCT hikes, one where I have John Muir hut and the photo, that's the one that has that in there. That was pretty amazing that tent was there for me, and I found it, got back down, finished out, ended up a really long day. Still had a great day hiking, but it was one of those moments, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just thought I want to give you guys a nice little hiking story today in front of the campfire. Now it's all burning high and bright. So, all right, I'm not going to be out long. I want to get a good night's sleep again tonight. Or at least a good long rest in the bed, because obviously, like I said, I don't sleep that much. But guys, thanks for watching, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing. I appreciate it, and it helps the channel. I really do. Like I said, this is just a blog of my daily life and what happens. So we'll get our license taken care of, not tomorrow, but the day after. Then we'll probably come out here. And then weather's supposed to come in. We may finally start getting some snow. Right now they're saying it's going to be probably just above freezing, so more rain. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, gotta be careful about your gear when you're on trail. Let me tell you. Then the place you live when you're in the woods. Okay. You guys have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we'll see you tomorrow on Jellybean Outdoors for more of my van life. Stoke the fire a little more. Burning hickory tonight. Of course, we normally burn hickory. But tonight, it's for hickory. We're burning hickory for hickory. And it'll go down a little bit for a minute when I stir it. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it stays up. Depends. Yeah, it's going to go down a little bit until the new pellets catch. And the new piece of wood I'm going to stick in there. All right. See you tomorrow on Jellybean Outdoors.